Have you ever heard of DNS spoofing? At Savage Hack, we dive deep into the tactics that often fly under the radar but can have serious implications. DNS spoofing is one of those sneaky techniques that can cause major disruptions without you even realizing it. Picture this. You're trying to visit your favorite website, but instead of landing on the actual page, you're redirected to a malicious site that looks identical. That's DNS spoofing in action. It exploits the domain name system, DNS, the backbone of the internet that translates human-friendly domain names into IP addresses. Attackers manipulate this process, tricking your computer into thinking it's connecting to a legitimate site when it's really a trap. The basics. How DNS works. Before we dive into how DNS spoofing works, let's break down DNS itself. When you type a URL like www.savagehack.com into your browser, your computer contacts a DNS server to translate that name into an IP address, like 192.0.2.1. This IP address is what your computer actually uses to connect to the website server. Normally, this process is invisible to you and happens in milliseconds. How DNS spoofing works. DNS spoofing, also known as DNS cache poisoning, involves an attacker tampering with the DNS responses so that your computer receives a malicious IP address instead of the legitimate one. Here's how they do it. Compromising a DNS server. Attackers can target a DNS server directly. By exploiting vulnerabilities in the server software or using weak credentials, they can modify the DNS records. When you try to visit www.savagehack.com, the compromised server responds with the IP address of a malicious site instead. Poisoning the DNS cache. Attackers don't always need direct access to a DNS server. Instead, they can poison the DNS cache on your local machine or even your router. Since DNS responses are often cached to speed up future lookups, if an attacker can inject false information into this cache, your computer will unknowingly connect to the wrong IP address. MITM, man in the middle, attacks. Another approach involves attackers using a MITM strategy to intercept DNS queries on an unsecured network, like public Wi-Fi. They then send back fake DNS responses, redirecting traffic to a site they control. The tools. DNS spoofing in action. To carry out these attacks, hackers often use tools like DNS Spoof or EtherCap. These tools allow them to listen for DNS requests on a network and respond with fake DNS replies. Imagine you're on the same network as an attacker, and you try to visit www.savagehack.com. The tool could intercept your request and respond with the IP address of a malicious server, sending you to a lookalike site designed to trick you. Real-world implications. The implications of DNS spoofing are serious. Phishing and identity theft. You might be redirected to a fake website that looks identical to the real one, tricking you into entering sensitive information like passwords or credit card details. Malware infections. The fake site might automatically download malware onto your device, giving the attacker control over your system. Data breaches. If attackers can redirect enough traffic, they can harvest large amounts of data from unsuspecting users. Protecting yourself. At Savage Hack, we believe in staying ahead of the curve. Here's how you can protect yourself. Use secure DNS providers. Services like Google Public DNS or Cloudflare DNS offer more robust security features and are less likely to be compromised. Enable DNSSEC, DNS security extensions, DNSSEC, add an extra layer of validation to DNS queries, helping to ensure that the responses you get are legitimate. Stay on HTTPS. Always check for HTTPS when entering sensitive information. HTTPS encrypts the data between your browser and the server, making it much harder for attackers to intercept and manipulate. Regularly update software. Ensure your operating system, router firmware, and antivirus software are up to date to protect against known vulnerabilities that attackers might exploit. By understanding these methods and defenses, you can better navigate the complex landscape of cybersecurity. Stay sharp, stay informed, and always stay savage.